Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. Wouldn't it be great if you had a clear goal around what it is to be your career plans for the year? Wouldn't it be great if you had some clarity around what those career goals for the year would be and how you were going to get there and what you needed to put in place in order for that to happen and you to hit those goals? Well, stay tuned because that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you today. And I have a free PDF printable that you can grab and fill in on your computer or print it out and fill it in by hand if you prefer that kind of way of working. So I will also be letting you know how you can get that. So the whole career planning process, the whole goal setting and professional development setting approach becomes much easier. Right, well, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Elizabeth Harrion. I am a fellow of the APM here in the UK. You can tell I'm British because of my accent, and I'm the author of a couple of books. You can see them on the shelf behind me there, and have another one coming out a bit later on this year. So I write about project management, I talk about project management, I train people, I do mentoring and all that kind of thing. And I've also been a project manager. I mean, I do a little bit of project management now through consulting, but I worked in a corporate setting for around 20 years. So I have plenty of hands-on experience and I've been where you are and I know what this job is all about. And I also know that it's really important that nobody will take responsibility for your career apart from you. And the faster you learn that in your professional life, the faster you learn that in your career, the easier it will be, because we need to take responsibility for our own careers. And that's why I wanted to share with you a tool really that will help you think through what you want to achieve this year and how you are going to do that. So I will share my screen with you and I will talk you through the PDF, and then you'll be able to see exactly what the different steps are for thinking around career planning for this year. Now, if you are watching on if you're watching on Instagram, you won't be able to see me sharing my screen. But if you watch my latest reel, which I did like 5 minutes ago, you will be able to see a quick scroll through of what's in the PDF. And there's also a link in that reel comments where you can go and get the PDF yourself. So let me go over to here and I will show the career planner on the screen and I'll talk you through it so you're seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is our PDF. I wonder if I can make it a bit bigger, make it easier for you to see. There we go, let's zoom in a bit. Zoom. So we've got, this is a career planner. It's actually one of the most downloaded things on my website. So if you go to girlsguidetopm.com or you go to, and you click on the shop, you can grab it for free. It's in the freebies section. If you are already a member of our free template library, and I think I'll probably be talking about template library in another video, let's not go there today, but if you're part of our free template library already and you've got a login for that, then you can just go to the career section and grab it from there along with all of our other templates. So there's no need to bother to put in all your details again because you've already got it. So if you are not on my mailing list and you're not part of the resource library, why not? You could be, you should be. That would be great if you were. But it's free, it's easy. You might as well just have it. So this is the PDF. It gets updated every year, and it is one of the most popular downloads on the whole website. I mean, it's insane. So, which is nice. Another thing I wanted to add is that if you watched my live stream yesterday, you will have realized, and if you've seen our branding change, for 15 years, I was Girls Guide to PM. I was Girls Guide to Project Management. Girls Guide to PM was our website. And to be honest, the URL still is because we're in the transitional phase of rebranding. But as part of our transitional planning, we had this interim logo for a few weeks while we were updating our website and moving to our new name. So we have decided very recently, actually, after much heartfelt thought, that Girls Guide to PM is no more, and we have rebranded as a Rebels Guide to Project Management, which brings in line with our community, Project Management Rebels, and loads of other things, and just makes it nicer and better and more grown up. Yesterday's video has a better explanation of all of that, so you can check out that. So if you're downloading we'll get around to updating this with a new logo, but if you're downloading it today, you'll see it has the transitional logo. Anyway, who cares about the logo? What you want to know is how to plan your career. You don't have to have huge aspirational goals like I want to be CEO in 3 years. I mean, you could, and that's kind of good if you do, but don't feel that you have to. So with the career planner, my suggestion is that you actually don't plan the whole year. So I'm talking about easy planning for the year, and I know that's what this video is all about, but you don't have to plan for the whole year. Let me just bring it up while I am still learning the software, but there we go. We're talking about career planning made easy today. So I just wanted to flash that up on the screen for the people at home so that you can see where we are. But I now need to take that banner off because otherwise you can't see the PDF. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you for comments in the chat on Instagram and on Facebook. The other thing I should have mentioned actually is that I'm the admin for the Project Management Cafe group. So if you're watching us in the Project Management Cafe group, hello members, thank you for being part of our gang. If you're watching on the Successful Project Managers page, then why not join us in the group? That would be cool too, right? And if you're watching us on YouTube, then YouTube is a work in progress. Like and subscribe. Right, okay, we will, let's go back to this career planner because that's what you're really here for, right? Now, my suggestion was that you only plan for the next 90 days because, life moves on. And you could actually do 90-day plans throughout the year, which is basically a quarter. So go through the year looking at what you could cover over the next quarter of the year, so next 3 months, and think it through that way. So you could do a 90-day plan now, do another one in 3 months, and then do another one 3 months later. So you are building up your career profile as you go. That's not to say you couldn't do an overall year plan as well, setting goals around where you feel that you want to be, where you feel that you need to be, and where you want to be perhaps in the future, and then break that down into a 90-day achievable plan. So it's up to you if you want to use it for the whole year. But knowing what our last 2 years have been like, I mean, it's kind of hard to plan. And it might feel a little bit dissatisfying if you get to the end of the year and realize that you've achieved very little off of your list. So you might want to think about the time frame for your planning. And if you decide just to do 90 days, then that is absolutely fine. The very first time I did this, I've got the papers over here actually, because I kept it because I'm sad like that. I can't lay my hands on it right now. I kept my very first career plan that I did using this process. I mean, the template, the document has evolved over time as I've shared it with people, as I've got feedback, and as I've feel like I know more about what's important to me. What I've put in it has been, and what I filled in has been different. But the very first time I did it, I sat down and thought, what's important to me? What is it that I'm trying to achieve? And it's actually a really hard question to ask yourself because, okay, I don't know. I know now where I am. I know that the career plan of a project manager is to manage bigger projects, or to go into program management, or to take a portfolio office role, or to move into a senior leadership operational role. There's lots of different options for career planning, career routes within project management, and they all pay really well. So that's a good thing too. But then you factor in, but I don't want to live in London anymore, but I want to have kids, but this is going to happen and that's going to happen, and I've got to look after my parents, and at some point in the future, I'm guessing that's going to happen. And there's other things that you think about, thinking, do I really want this? Do I really want a high-flying job? Do I need to get all of the high-flying career points now, get as high as I can now, so that if I do need to step back in a different season of life, then I can go back in at a higher level. So there's quite a lot of big picture thinking to think about as well. And then there's some nitty gritty stuff too. So let's get on to that. So in here, you can see, focus on the next 3 months and block out your time to think, because this is your life. And you really don't want to be rushing your goals and just coming up with any just random stuff. So think about what's really important to you, and some of the questions will help you do that. And share it, talk about it with your friends and colleagues, because they might have ideas, they might see something that you don't see, or they might be able to help you put your thoughts into words when you're discussing it with them in a way that then helps you get them down on paper. So the first thing we do, the first step we do as a career plan review, is to look back at what happened last year and ask ourselves the questions: what projects did we enjoy working on? What was hard, and why did I find that hard? What was difficult? What was difficult about work more generally? What projects were challenging? And what did I waste time doing? What did I waste time? What were my biggest time wasters for the year? And for me, I think my biggest time waster for 2021 was anxiety and feeling like I didn't know what to do, so I couldn't do anything. Are we going to be homeschooling in a few weeks? I don't know. So just the paralyzing fear, I suppose, of not knowing what's coming and how that's going to affect me and my family totally meant that my productivity dipped at certain points during 2021. As a result, I spent an awful lot of time on Twitter, not tweeting, but just, doom scrolling. And that was really bad. So I would say my time waster was social media. I don't know if that's been the same for you. If it is, feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. I see someone's put tech. Yeah, tech is an issue. Okay, so biggest time wasters, but also what went well. What were your personal and professional highlights of the year? What was amazing for you? I think my personal highlight, I actually hadn't reflected on that particular question before I came on the live, but I think if I top of mind, what comes to me is being invited to speak at IIL's International Project Management Day event, because that is a flagship major event for project managers in our community, and being one of the speakers during that event was good. And honestly, the experience was lovely as a speaker, very well organized, high-tech presentation, loads of support for speakers around what they're expecting. They made it very easy for me to do a good job. And that's important. So, that was a professional highlight. Think about what you achieved in your career over the year. So maybe you got a pay rise, maybe you earned a certification, maybe you did something else, you completed a great project, you implemented a new process, you learned a lesson. There could be lots of different things that fall into that category. And then if you had last year again, what would you change? What would you do differently as a result of the work that you have invested in? So maybe you would have changed how you responded to a particular stakeholder group. Maybe you would have responded to a conflict in a different way. Or maybe you would have not taken the certification you did and did Scrum Master or Prince 2 or some Agile certification instead. Maybe there's something else that has come up since you completed some piece of work that meant that you've learned a lesson that would have made the work easier. So just reflect, and you can use the box on the PDF to fill all of that stuff in. The second step is setting your career goals. So what is it that you want to achieve for this year or for this quarter, for this 3-month, 90-day period? What does success look like? Because, we do this on projects, right? We will sit down and go, what does success look like? What does the customer want? What do the stakeholders value from this? How are we going to deliver a quality result? We do all of that thinking as project managers. We do it all for the work that we do, but we don't necessarily do it for our own personal career. Oh, hi, let me wave. So what's important then is thinking through what is it that we want to achieve? What does success look like for us as individuals? And it might be doing a bigger project, leading a bigger team, getting responsibility for a bigger budget. It might be passing a certification. It might be getting a pay rise. It might be getting a promotion, moving companies, convincing your boss that the process you ask them to do is actually the right process, stabilizing the way that risk is managed. I don't know, there could be 1,000 things. Learning a new skill. And also, if you have a certification already, then you would want to make sure that you're cracking up those PDUs and earning the things that you need to earn to keep that credential. So that's why the PDF mentions how are you going to factor in your professional development for the year. So then I would say pick maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 goals maximum, and then use those as your career goals to put into the document. So you can fill them in the PDF. Now, if you're a handwriting person like me, you'll want to print this file out. It's 9 pages, but you wouldn't need to print the back page. You probably don't need to print the instructions either on the front. If you like to fill things in on the computer and you would find that easier, then you can just type inside the PDF. Okay, now the third step in career planning is what is non-negotiable for you? And I didn't ask myself this question when I started out in my career. It only got to be when I started to do this kind of professional development thought process more seriously that I asked myself the question of what am I not prepared to compromise on? And I want to achieve my goals, yeah, but there are certain boundaries I need to set for myself to make sure that I maintain my sanity, have a life. That means that perhaps They are more important than the goals. So think about the things that you are not willing to do or no longer want to do, and considering all of those now will make it easier for you to take decisions about your career, because you will be helpful. It will help you decide whether or not you're doing the right thing, right? It will help you make decisions because it will guide you through what is right for you. So this is all about your personal motivation, your personal values, really. So things like, I don't want to work overtime. For me, I say I don't work after 8 p.m. at night, which I actually broke last night because I worked till 11. I was doing something fun work, but I'm feeling it today, put it that way. So there is a reason why my goal is that I don't work after 8 o'clock. You could set that goal for yourself, or you could say, I choose not to ask my team to work overtime. I will attend one professional networking event every month. You could set yourself that goal, whether that's a webinar or you go to an in-person meeting like a PMI chapter meeting or an APM meeting or something. You could not work at the weekends. You can decide to do that. You could set yourself some boundaries around what you will do. Like, I will go to the gym 3 times a week. Haha. That's never going to be on my list, but it could be on yours. I will take 2-week breaks in the year because I do not relax properly on a 1-week break. I will look at my time wasters that I said in the previous step and decide that I will delete Twitter from my phone. You know, you could talk about things, you can look at through the things that you feel are your non-negotiables. And my personal non-negotiable for 2022, as it has been for the last 3 years, is I will get a massage every month. And I have booked myself in for a massage on Tuesday. So for January, ka-ching, I've managed to hit my non-negotiable goal. So, you know, I mean, obviously during 2020 and 2021, that was a little bit of a hard one to achieve, but you know, you might want to set some boundaries around what is important to you, what values you want to hold, and how you are going to shape your work through those. So pop down your non-negotiables, things you will not compromise on, into your career plan, because that will help you make better decisions, smarter decisions about what you want to do for the rest of the year. Okay, step 4 now is, how are you going to get support for your goals? Who is going to help you reach your career goals? And you might need to ask a manager, you might need support from your family, especially if you're studying and need to do that in the evenings or weekends. You might want to get a mentor. One of the things I do is mentor project managers. I have clients booked in already, actually, for January. And we talk about whatever the client wants to talk about. But from a perspective of mentoring, it's really often having a sounding board for your ideas and getting some good ideas from someone who's been there and done that. So a mentor or a coach might help you achieve your goals. So you might want to think about what support you can get in that respect. You might want family and friends. You might need childcare arrangements. You might need organize a babysitter so you can go to networking events in the evenings, whatever it is. Whether it's formal support, informal support, money from your boss to pay for a course, down to just asking, you know, your neighbors to pick up shopping or something, whatever you feel that it might be. Think about what help you need in order to achieve your goals, because if you have that framework in place and that support network in place, you are far more likely to be able to get there. Okay, so you can put people and actions into your career document, your goal. And then we come to our final step, which is step 5. The 5th thing I want you to do is to plan. Now, as project managers, we are good at planning. This bit is easy for you. So you've got a clear idea of what you'd like to achieve, what you won't compromise on, and who can help. And so what you're going to do now is just plan out how you're going to get there. So let's say one of your career goals was to earn a certification. I'm constantly surprised at how many people have this on their list of things to do. But January is a great year for making that commitment to earning a professional certification, taking an exam, getting a qualification in something. And I think this is the time of year people start thinking about all of those things. So if that is you, book yourself on the course. Just book it. Talk to your boss, secure the funding and book it. Or if it's something you want to pay for yourself, go ahead and make that choice. Think about, if you want a promotion, what do you have to do? What do you have to put in place to help your manager see that you are ready for that promotion? So have that conversation, put it in the diary, book some time with your manager. What do I need to do in order to be able to be promoted, take the next step in my career in 6 months? Because ultimately I want to be in this job. preferably not your manager's job, because that will make them feel a little bit unhappy and uncertain, but phrase it nicely. But you're talking to them about what you need to do in order to step up. You could, if you want to get a new job, set yourself some goals. I will spend Saturday afternoon updating my resume or my CV, and then I will spend next weekend sending it to 5 recruitment companies. I will apply for 3 jobs every week between now and March. I don't know, whatever it feels like you could do that's reasonable and realistic for you, you could make some concrete steps towards doing that. It might be getting a mentor to help me work all this stuff out because I have no clue. It might be creating some kind of training thing so I can share what I know with my team to help position me as an expert within my organization so I get bigger and better projects. So you don't just go, let's take the example of getting bigger and better projects. You don't just go today from, I'd like to do bigger and better projects, and tomorrow I'm doing them. You need some different steps in there in order for you to be able to get to the point where you're doing bigger and better projects. So one of them might be working on credibility within the organization. One of them might be getting a certification. One of them might be internal networking so that you know who the movers and shakers are, improving your office politics skills, trying to be influential within your organization so that people know that you are ready to take those bigger projects. So whatever your action steps happen to be, you want to write those down because that's step 5 of your career plan. Stick them in your document. And we don't know what next year is going to bring, but the benefit of being able to have a plan gives you a fighting chance of being able to achieve it. So let's stop sharing this PDF for those of you who are watching on the YouTube or Facebook. Let's get rid of that. And let me bring my face back. So really, that's what I wanted to talk about. For career planning, it's action steps. It's what do I want to do? What are my non-negotiables? How am I going to get there? Who's going to help me? And make a plan. And honestly, it takes a bit of brain power because often as project managers, we are go, go, go all the time. We don't have a lot of time to sit and reflect and mull over what we'd like to do with our lives. But nobody else is doing it either. So if you are not sitting and reflecting and mulling over what you want to do with your lives, you will probably be in the same job on the same salary, doing the same exact thing this time next year. And actually, that might be your career goal. In this time of uncertainty, stability, turning up, doing a good job, taking the paycheck, going home, watching Netflix, that might be your career goal, is just to have a stable year with no drama, and you're not in a position where you want to make a big change in your life. That is absolutely fine too, in which case your non-negotiables might be around creating boundaries to make sure that that happens, making sure that you know your working hours, making sure your boss is clear on which phase of life you're in and what you're prepared to take on and not take on, and just battening down the hatches and feeling on top of things. So you don't have to have a great big plan to become CEO. You might just have a small plan. You might have a plan to maintain and stay where you are, and all of that is fine too. But what is important is that you've at least spent some time to reflect. So my suggestion to you is that you put some time in your diary right now, flick over to your calendar, book some time in your diary to think about what career goals you want to set for yourself, if any, and how you are going to get there. And then go and download the PDF from girlsguidetopm.com. Click on the shop, click on freebies, and you'll see it. And I'll also stick a link in the comments below this video so you can grab the just click and grab it from there. Okay, so well, thanks very much everybody for watching today. I hope that's been useful. I hope that's given you some ideas about how to set yourself up for success during 2022. And I will be in touch soon. Tomorrow, I think we'll do a video. Oh, hang on, tomorrow's the weekend. Maybe not tomorrow then, but the next video I do will probably be about the free template library I mentioned at the beginning. Knowing that we have rebranded Girls Guide to PM and now we are Rebels Guide to PM. Happy New Year to you too. We will be I think people are finding it harder to remember what we've got on offer, and the website has got over 1,000 articles, a ton of free stuff to download, loads of resources. So I just want to spend some time over the next week or so pointing people to those resources and signposting what's available to you. So once you're setting yourself up for 2022 and the year to come, you can take advantage of what's already there. So watch out for that video. We'll be talking about how to get all the free project management templates your heart's desire, and I will be back and talk to you soon. All right, take care, have a lovely day, and Happy New Year. Bye.